Welcome to Tag Talk, episode 19, the most content-free content on YouTube. Tonight we're talking about Unit 26 Days Until Christmas, our third visit to Unit 26 this year. Hey, got it
We
right.
got there eventually.
So tonight we're talking about our third visit to the Unit 26 Airsoft site in Hull. And because it was on November 29th, it was 26 days until Christmas. I did choose that date on purpose so I could do Unit 26 Days Until Christmas. Um, for those who've never seen the site before or never been, Unit 26 is an indoor airsoft site in an old industrial unit. It has three main arenas and central arena, which has two kind of maze-like halves with wooden walls. And in the middle, a no man's land filled with kind of travel cases and storage blocks. To one side, there's a dark room, and then above the dark room, there is another small CQB area, maze like area. And this time, it had no lights on upstairs, which will come into play later on. Um, we went to Unit 26 last year. We went in April this year, September this year, and I think I had this one booked in before I'd even got home from the September event, and probably half filled by the time I got home from the September event. It's a very popular site, um, and it's a site that plays very differently depending on the number of players. So first time we went, we had I think 14. Second time, I think 9, or the other way around. Third time we went, we had 22 players, and this event was looking like we were going to have 24 players. But in like the week before, a lot of people had to drop out for either work commitments or illness or injuries. So we went from 24 down to 15 in a week, which obviously impacts the profit event of the event. Especially because one of the things I wanted to do this event was try and get some new people in. So I offered a half price ticket if you brought somebody new. So if you brought somebody new, they got a half price ticket and you got a half price ticket just to try and get some fresh blood into the event. So as one of my events goes, as per normal, it did not cover its costs, which obviously makes it a little tricky. It was going to cover them, didn't. But 15 players is kind of a right spot for that venue. 16, maybe 18 would be, I think, perfect. At that kind of level, you're not engaged in combat all the time, but also you can move around quite freely and get into and kind of cross the no man's land without being too difficult. And for no man's land this time, so we arrived. I think we were one of the last to arrive because of traffic and the sheer amount of water on the M62 going across.
Oh, it was
Um,
absolutely
it
lagging it
was
down the
it
entire
was
day, standing water.
horrible.
Yeah.
So we got there. Frank, who runs the site, who we all think is amazing, gives out free patches to any new players. He is a gem. Um, he said, do you need any help bringing stuff in? It's like, no, we got it all in. And he went, pulled me to one side and went, Adam, I've made some changes just for you. And that was one of those, okay, this sounds good.
Panic moment.
Because he changes every time. It's a bit like the Foundry where it changes every time, but the change has been fairly minimal. So like, the second time we went, there was a covered walkway into the upstairs room, dark room section. Second time or third time they'd opened that up on the other side. So I wasn't sure what he'd done, and his comment was, "I've just made it right for you guys." So we got set up, um, and then the first game was a new variation of HVZ, in which rather than everyone taking a timer and that timer determining whether you were a zombie, the rooms themselves were infected. So if you were in a room when the time went off, you were infected. If you passed through a room while it was going off, you were infected. So I had to go and set all the timers up. And I don't know if anyone caught it on video, but I was chortling my head off as I did it because I walked into the arena and it was not what I expected him to have changed. Um, but the no man's land is always a bit quite difficult to cross at times. There's a lot of angles of fire, and the cover is normally kind of waist high, so you're quite exposed. This time he'd moved most of the cover into one central block, which was higher, but it meant there was so much more open space to move around in and get caught in crossfire. Um, and then he closed off some other rooms, made some of tighter routes, and I walked into this thing and I was laughing my head off because I could see exactly what he'd done, and I confirmed it with him later. So Unit 26 used to do parties, Nerf parties. So he had some stock blasters. So what he'd done was he basically test fired with a stock blaster to try and get kind of idea of ranges and angles you could get with Nerf blasters. So it was very open, very dangerous to cross, and it was possibly one of the most fun experience that I've had in a venue. So yeah, so 15 players. We had four venue virgins. So Jade, who is Ember's friend, who had her start at District 23, came to her second event, which is great. She's a really good player. I got her in Seek and Destroy, so I was really happy. But she kind of offsets Ember's evilness and kind of manicness quite well, so she's a good player. Stuart, Super Clyde, came across for his first event there. And obviously, we've all played with Stuart for a long time. And it's great to see him get across to that venue because he's played at Foundry and places like that, so it's good. Peter, who is one of the Hull guys, and me and Bonehead have faced off against Peter a lot of times. He is very good with his unicorn, very snipery. He brought along his daughter Ellie, and she fit the vibe really well. And has already decided she wants her own blasters. So I think I've pointed him towards Fib. So I suspect there'll be some money spent there. So I'm just doing my meth toddling financial services. And then I invited a bunch of guys from my work, because obviously work at the moment is going through a bit of a change. We all need kind of an outlet to blow off some steam. So I invited some guys from work. Unfortunately, only one of them could make it. So Hugo has airsofted in the past when he lived in Portugal, and I felt he fit our vibe really well. He was sarcastic. He got the kind of energy and looked as broken at the end of it as we all did. So I felt he fit in really well, and it meant I could hand off most of my gear to him to let him play with different things, see how he reacted to it. So on the whole, I felt all the players fit really well. We were a couple of regulars down, so Toodles couldn't make it this event, Modge couldn't make it this event, Han couldn't make it this event, which meant the walls felt very safe. So,
and Frank also didn't have to bring his accident book for a change. Is something he mentioned in the
so you
preamble.
know it's a good sign when Han is part of a safety brief. So yeah, so from my point of view, lower on numbers, but it was a really good crowd, a really good event. So I'll hand over to these guys for a bit while I catch my breath.
Yeah, so I mean, on the subject of the newbies, Ember's friend, they tended to stay around in a pair, so they weren't as Ember wasn't as evil as she normally is. She wasn't like sort of sneaky up behind you and shooting the backside, like a mini version of Ross, if you like. But at the same time, it meant you got two targets. So you saw Ember, you knew there was two of them there or thereabouts. You could shoot at both of them. I took a dart in the face early on from Jade, and she was very apologetic, but I returned the favour later on by accidentally shooting her in the neck. Totally unintentionally, I might add. But, you know,
from point blank range.
it was just panic fire round a corner. But, oh, I'm so sorry. You know, she was fine. And it was one of those things. It happens. Hugo absolutely got into the spirit of it almost immediately. There will be footage of after one game, Hugo comes back to the safe zone, looks at me, and he's got the biggest grin on his face I have ever seen in a Nerf game. He was absolutely pissing glitter. He was loving it. He was proper getting into it. He was being super tactical when there was a game where he was sporting a Prometheus, and it was like he was just, well, similar sentiment to when I had the Godhopper Prometheus eyeballs, you know, raging clue going on. Just absolutely loving it. And yeah, Hugo fit in really well. I think he's now definitely going to be partaking in some of the meth toddling services that me and Adam provide. Yes. I think we've avoided sending him towards AK Blaster mods just because that could get expensive.
I sent him towards Fib, so
yeah. I mean, with at least with Fib, we know the quality's there. The AKBM stuff, it's build your own. That could be expensive because we don't know what will go wrong. But yeah, definitely enjoyed Hugo being there, and I enjoyed the fresh new characters. It was good seeing Stuart at a different arena, just because I've seen him at several different ones now, and they all play different. So you never know how Stuart's gonna play. And he again took to it. He seemed to love the venue. Yeah, again, we do love this venue. We love how welcoming they are. We love the fact that they change it up for us, which I believe Frank said the airsofters actually hated as well.
It was too open for them. Yeah, but for us, it was brilliant.
Yeah, Darren.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. The new layout of the venue, superb. Been to Unit 26. At least twice now. Say again.
I think you did all this year. Did you do the first one? No, you
didn't. I think I missed the first one. So
yeah, so this will be your third visit.
Right. Yeah, thought it was. But yeah, it's always been a favourite of mine. Unit 26. I just like that sort of arena. But the changes Frank had made, although not massive, were just enough. I think the no man's land in the middle, what he changed in there absolutely made that spot on, because the old setup, there used to be a spot you could literally just basically camp at.
Peter did that every...
literally it was the doorway that used to lead out to the dark room or to the stairs up to get upstairs. You could literally sit there and you could pick off pretty much anybody trying to cross no man's land. Obviously, he's took that away. He'd opened it up as well. So the channel coming from, obviously, people listening to this won't have a clue what we're on about, but coming from Joker's side, there was a channel.
I've been 4 times and I still don't know which side Joker is.
And that was open, whereas that used to be just an L-shaped piece of walling, and you knew you couldn't get people coming from that side, or you couldn't be got from people coming from that side, but that had been opened up. There used to be a big, massive barrel. I think it might have even been a cable wheel, you know, with big thick cable come on at some point. He'd moved that, so that completely opened up and changed the layout and the gameplay of that center area. It was, the layout he's done this time for this last visit of the year, that for me was, he'd absolutely, got the nail on the head with that one, I think.
Yeah. Absolutely. I think for me, there were a lot more points of entry to No Man's Land than there were before. Like before, you knew there was one of maybe 3 on each side, whereas now there was 5 or 6 different routes you could get to, and
I don't think it's added any more entrances. I think it's just that they all became more viable this time.
Yes. Sorry, that's probably more accurate. Yeah.
Where a couple of coming from the Joker side, a couple were closed off, so you could come down past the shutter door that's usually down, up the side, and then duck into the dark room there. And you knew for a fact nobody could get you because you're all covered all the way. That was opened up, so
now
you could.
there was no safe spots. I think is how I would describe it.
The way he done those few little subtle changes and the changes in the actual bang in the center, and again there was a couple of changes on the entrance side that opened that bit up again, because there used to be a couple of spots where you could sit and you would be pretty safe from the opposing side angle wise. That was for me, that superb. Made
I think sorry, Darren.
Much better. That's right. Come on, pal.
I was just going to say, I think one change that I really noticed and capitalised on quite a lot, that side where the darkroom doors were, if you came from Joker spawn, previously you couldn't see past the darkroom doors. It was blocked off. No. Whereas now, this time, there was one sort of wall there with a door in it that you could hide behind. And if you got behind that little bit of wood, you weren't taking shots from no man's land, but you could see right across into one of the corridors on Venom side. And at one point I was just sat there popping shots off at the enemy that were coming down that way, to a point where they actually stopped coming that way because they knew I couldn't necessarily hit them because it was quite a narrow. There was like a wall jutted out and you could see the corridor, so you'd have to be a really good shot, but I could see enough that I could get suppressing fire in there, and it just stopped people coming that way. So it changed the dynamic of that game for a little while, because they started coming a different way until they knew I wasn't there anymore or someone wasn't covering that corner. So yeah, that was really good. And that, again, just opening up that little tiny bit changed the way that side of the arena played.
Yeah, very much so. Much enjoyed. And I believe Adam said that they're ripping it to bits.
So the plan is for them to tear down the main arena and make it more modular, but they can change it easier in the future. This is something they wanted to do originally, but they wanted to get it open really quickly. So, and this has been on the cards since I think the first visit this year. Frank had been telling me they were planning it, so it's just taken them a year to prep it. So we are booked in 28th of February, which will be, I think, the second to last game we run. So,
what was your first one apart from the pinger? Not pinger HV. Well, yes.
We called it Spawner HVZ. So it was for kitchen timers from the pinger HVZ. Placed in the room. I think I had 7 of them active, maybe 8 of them active. I don't know who got the first infection, but I did see, I think, Darren run across no man's land into one of them. I liked the idea. I don't think it worked. But you try new events. You try them. I think it's because I like my pinger HVZ so much. I like the paranoia. I like knowing that maybe I've handed somebody a timer on purpose, or I've looked at their timer in their hand and gone, I know what you've got. Or as in 2 events, I didn't know what they'd got.
You thought you did and you hadn't. Yeah. You got it wrong.
That's because Mod figured them out and I had to change them all. So, but yeah, so gear wise on that one, I ran the Goblin, which first time it's ever run out. I've been out for a thing because I broke it almost immediately after getting it in the Memorial Collection. I don't know. I think I filmed it, but I had my settings in totally wrong format. Which is a pity because my trying to dash across the no man's land at the end when I got caught by, I think, 3 people at once was quite
one
epic.
Of which was me, I believe.
Yeah, you, Peter, and somebody else. But yeah, I love HVZ, so I like all games, but HVZ is kind of my how I got into the hobby. It's the first game I ever run like Grim Up Nerf, so I liked the idea. It didn't work the way I expected it to, so we try these things.
Yeah, I
back
think
and change
this
it
is something
back.
myself. Yeah, this is something myself and Tartan were discussing on Helldivers the other day. HVZ, as much as some people aren't keen on it, it's a really good introduction to the venue event. And even this one did that, even though with the game itself wasn't maybe as successful as standard Pinger HVZ. It gave people a chance to explore, see the changes that Frank had made, and find their placing. Find where they were going, find where the timers might be.
What I'd say about this one is Hugo in this round, you could see the glimmer starting to go on his face, but it's the next one where it comes into a full-on smile.
Yeah, so my gear for the HVZ was my old faithful Diana, who is still sporting battle scars, which I'll probably come to later on. But just Diana in hotshot mode when you've got a zombie coming, just a quick boop, nothing beats it. It's quick, it's effective, it's reliable. I use the big mags that stick down here as well, so it looks ridiculous, but it does the job. I was using this thing most of the day, even with broken front door. So yeah, Diana, what more can I say? It's
Good old.
yes.
Again, for the zombie, me, it was pretty much same old, same old. I've pretty much over this year nailed my loadout down pretty much, and it's just a very slight. Depending on the game, depends on how much of the loadout I use. HVC or a variation of HVC is always just Diana. That's it. All you need. Keeps you nimble, light, can move quickly enough, change direction, and still. And like Boneheed said, I've got the Black Razor 20 rounds as well, so very seldom ever get through a full mag. So that's all you need, really.
It's rare I even fire a mag. So.
Yeah, I think I fired 4 darts in HVZ in this game just because the frequency at which you see zombies, you only need 1 shot and then run away. It's not the sort of game where you put it on full auto and spray. So it works.
Yeah, I think the amount of darts I fired out of the single mag was single digits, but as per usual.
Which is how it should.
That's why we like it.
Yeah,
that's why we like it.
Yep.
So after HVZ, we did staggered start. So this was a kill confirmed variant using fibs. Rather than you being out of the game, you go back and press your death counter box. The idea on this one was you respawned in 10-second intervals. So first minute, it was like 1 person on the other team out, 2 people, 3 people. And then if you were tagged and there were people waiting in the base, you might have, say, 10, 20 seconds wait. I used my gym timers and they absolutely failed. So I've been planning on using these gym timers for various events over the last 3-4 years. They don't like to start up. They don't seem to like the settings. So in the end, everybody just had them on the normal countdown and we're going on like 0 or 5. But it's kill confirmed. It uses, like I say, fib style rules. So you're not out of the game when you're tagged or you kill confirmed. And this one was, according to my notes, a red win with 21 deaths to 27. And most of the games that event were really close. This one, I think I ran the conquest, but like Bonehead said, this is the round where Hugo's face just went from, I'm not sure about this, to, oh my God, am I enjoying this?
Yes, and I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe he was using your Maxim Pro
for
this game.
Yes.
Because I believe it, like in the safe zone at the start, I was just saying to him, do you know how the rev trigger works? It's like a 1911 safety grip. You grip with your palm and then pull the trigger, and he's like, oh yeah, I've worked it out. And he was doing work with it. Bless him, he was doing really well. But you could tell he'd got like a couple of really good tags, and from that point on, he was sold. He was absolutely, this is awesome.
Every time I respawned and he was there, you could just see this.
Yeah,
he was good.
I just saw him come back to spawn and he just got a massive Cheshire Cat grin going. I was like, yep, we've caught another one. He's one of us now. One of us.
One of us. One of us. Anything else to say then?
I think I had my first sort of encounters with Hugo during that game. And I must admit, I can remember thinking that, hang on a minute, he's got some game experience from somewhere.
Airsoft.
I was going to say, in my head, I thought, I suspect he's an airsofter or he has played airsoft. Obviously, I found out later on that, yeah, he played airsoft. So I had quite a few. It seemed to be always him finding me or me finding him during that game. First 3 or 4 times, I kind of worked out his game style, his gameplay sort of thing. So kind of knew where he would be, and when he would be there. Yeah, my interactions with him is, yeah, he was having a ball. There was even one bit where we both came round the corner. I think he was empty. I think my Diana was empty at that time because I think I'd put my SPF down and just started to run my Diana. I think I'd just run, and we were literally stood in front of each other, just pointing the blasters at each other, going bang, bang, bang at each other very loudly, whilst laughing hysterically at each other,
Like
and
that
then
scene
running away.
from. Is it one of the John Wick films where they go through loads of guns and pick them up and they
Yes.
shoot at each other and they don't? That sort of thing.
Yeah.
But
But yeah.
he was loving it either way.
But yeah, I like this version of Kill Confirm because it's that thing of, do you push forward to get a tag, but it's not be all and end all if you get taken out. So I think Fib's way of doing it, which was Veronica, is just the perfect version of Kill Confirmed.
We've been not to sort of sidetrack the conversation, but we sort of ran that rule during Pro 5 the entire day, where it was basically if you got tagged, you had 10-second bleed out.
Yeah,
and
which is what Dishriff used to do.
Yeah, and that really changed the dynamic because you could. It wasn't just a case of hitting the other person; it was a case of, do you go in and try and secure it, or do you risk somebody getting revived? Because there's a few times I didn't actually go and try and kill confirm somebody, and they got revived, and they just killed me. They're like, right, it's a definite gamble. And it adds an extra layer to the gameplay, which is very good.
Yeah.
It's a good balance though, because there were times in that game where I actually took someone out and then knew that there was someone with them. So Ember and Jade, for example, were running around as a pair. So I'd tag Ember, knowing full well Jade was going to come in and try and res her. So I'd then tag Jade, and I managed to kill confirm them both, and stuff like that. It like you say, is it worth the risk versus if I wait here a second and see if they're going to get revived, can I get someone else? Yeah. And it adds a little bit extra. What I will say is I preferred this version of the kind of staggered spawn than what happened at Anarchy 2. Anarchy 2 was a very different arena. It didn't really need... It wasn't really big enough for that many people in play. But that one felt like we were waiting around a little bit too much because it was three people out at a time, I think.
Yeah, that was 1 in, 1 out.
Yeah, so it was 1 in, 1 out. Whereas with this, we could potentially have the entire team on the field at any one time. You weren't waiting more than 10 seconds. So I felt like I was getting more of my money's worth out of my toys, essentially.
Fair enough. Next
up was Bolt Assault, or sometimes I call it Bargain Hunters. So these are my orange waterproof boxes with 4 clasps around them. And in them is play money in either bags, which were £5, or bundles of notes, which were the face value. So your idea is you've got to get to the boxes, open them up under fire, and then bring them back one at a time to your base. Money can be stolen from your base, though I don't think Ross managed to do it this time.
I think he tried.
He nearly did. I clocked him.
Yeah.
But the twist this time was each death was worth a £5 penalty. I think we were on left. That's spot Venom.
Red,
Joker.
red was on Venom, which is the right from the entrance.
Yeah. So, this one was. I thought my team was doing absolutely brilliantly, getting a lot of money. But it turns out the other team was getting the 50s rather than small stuff. And the final score is, according to my thing, a blue win by just £5. So they had more money but more deaths. But it ended up just being a £5 difference. As we've said hundreds of times, we love those close games, because it feels like you fought so hard for that win or that loss. And I thought we had it in the bag. And it was only when we started counting, I'm going, oh my God, there's a lot of 50s here. And then I looked at the deaths and it's tap on the calculator. Yeah.
I must admit on that one, I thought Red Team had absolutely nailed it on that one. I didn't realise we'd got, which is ironic because me, Ember, and Jade were working as a team during that. I'd find the box, open it, and I'd pass the money out, and they'd be running backwards or forwards.
Which is a really good way of doing it. I did that with a couple of people, I think, or tried to at least.
Yeah. See, I was the opposite because I was counting the money for the blue team, who was the opposing team to me, and I saw how much money they got, and I was like, "There's no way we've won this. Not a chance in hell," because they'd got considerably more than we had. But then when the deaths were counted, it brought that right down, and it literally, I'm pretty sure I recorded the final scores specifically in the footage that I got, and it was literally £5. It was that close. Super close game. Really enjoyed it. I brought something else for this game. I brought my newly repainted Vector Pro.
Yes, Venom's small one,
yeah. So really good. Enjoyed it. It works with the stock really well. It feels very sort of tucked in, despite it looking like a supermarket scanning gun. Did really well. Obviously revs well. Put it on a 2S and it hit at bang on 1 joule. So exactly what we wanted for the game. And it worked really well. Until after this game, I thought, I'll put it on safe while we're in the safe zone, and forgot that I'd painted the safety switch. So it went forward. I couldn't get it off safe. So I spent the break after that game unscrewing the entire blaster, taking it apart, turning the safety switch off, and then screwing it back together again. Because idiot.
So Vault Assault is a game that I first ran for Wolfpack on the pitch. I ran it at Foundry, I've run it at Laser Mania, I think. But it's one we've run a couple of times at iCombat, because that venue, because it's the darkness and there's so many routes, it's quite a good game for there. This was the first time we've run it at Uni 26. And I'd happily run it again there. I think I've put it on the thing for February. I watched some of my footage, and you could just hear me complaining about the clasps, because they're a bugger to do when you're under fire, and I was under fire, so
I didn't have such a problem.
That's because you never play the bloody objective,
and that's
we have it on footage.
I think this was the game where before we started, I said, Adam, would you like to just translate those rules for me? And you said, what? Don't he just shoot people? So.
Yeah. No, we do have footage of you putting down one thing of notes.
Yes, that's true. I'm pretty sure there's footage of me quacking as well for later game. Spoilers, but yes.
The entirety of the entire compressed footage of you playing the objective for 2025 is 5 minutes long.
Not even that.
No.
Sometimes the objective is just shoot people. It works, I play the objective when it means I get to go bang, bang, bang. But
see, if you put the same attention and care into playing the objective in Nerf games as you put into Soul Wing and Helldiver missions,
I would get shot a lot more, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Well, that's not a problem for me, Right.
To be fair, there would also be lots more occasions of me in the middle of a Nerf game shouting "suck my boomstick." So,
Yes. The old freedom.
We
No.
found the
Right.
level.
Yes, there we are. Hello, gutter. Welcome home. Right. Next one up before we end up getting sidetracked again by
Yep.
something else.
This was Bang Goes for Dynamite. So I have my Dynamite props. If you've watched the District 23 episode, you'll see them. I took them to District 23, didn't get to use them because I forgot the lipos. I remembered my lipos this time. So these are timers that you have no idea how long you've set them for. They fire 2 caps at once, so they're fairly loud. They're not as loud as I thought they'd be because we didn't actually hear them go off. So we put 3 in no man's land. The idea was you've got to keep them out of your half. And
Right.
it was
2 full rings of caps,
yes.
and nobody heard them go off.
We thought they were capnades. They went off, but
Fair
because
enough.
they were quite a distance away, no one was close enough to realise
No,
that's
no
what
one
went
had
off.
them in hand or was
Yeah.
in the rooms when we did. So,
Yeah, fair enough.
so the idea was keep them out of your half. If you go off in your hand, it's -1 point. If you go off in your half, it's -1 point. Final score was -1 to -2. Blue win. So, I saw one stick in about the first minute and then never saw him again. So yeah. I like the idea of this game. I just don't know how to make it work because it didn't. And it's something I want to figure out. But I don't know where they ended up to know how it went wrong. So it's something I'm looking forward to the footage of to see if other people caught it and from there.
Did all 3 of them go off? Because I seem to think there was only 2 went off.
All 3 went off, but one of them only fired 1 ring.
Okay. So that again is why we probably didn't realise that's what had gone off, because it would have just sounded like a standard cap grenade.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's something I want to try again. I want to watch footage, see where they moved, if people saw them moving, and where they ended up. I enjoyed it because it was a lot of shooting people and running around trying to find things, but it didn't work the way I expected. Well, as we said with Spawner, you try these things.
Yeah. The principles sound, the execution needs a bit of work.
Yeah.
You know? And that's
it was still a good fun game, you know.
Yeah,
still got to shoot people.
You just got to shoot people. Yeah, that's all you care about.
Yeah. It's almost like I have a reputation.
You do already, for reasons that we're not going into on this show because it's PG-13. Right, next one up. Or Darren, because anything else, Darren, from yourself, from your perspective?
As far as the Dynamite game, from another player's point of view, I love the game, not because of the seeking out the dynamite and trying to hide it. Other people, I never saw a stick of dynamite once in the entire game. So after literally 3 or 4 minutes of trying to find the dynamite and couldn't find anything, I thought, right, I'm going to be as annoying as I can be. So I then dumped the SPF, had the Diana, and just repeatedly, I felt every now and then you get a game where you feel everything just clicks and you are literally you're on fire.
Yeah.
That game for me, I felt like that. I was infiltrating into the other side's half, pipping people off, constantly engaging with Hugo, and we were both cackling as 9 times out of 10, I sent him back to his spawn. It was that game for me, irrespective of the objective side of it, because I never saw a stick of dynamite. Blue Icarin occasionally came to me and went, "Oh, the stick of dynamite, right? Okay, fine," and off I'd go again. And I gave it about as much interest as that. I was being a pain in the arse to a lot of the opposite team and loving it.
Yeah, and sometimes that's all you need.
Yeah.
We make fun of Bonehead for not playing the objective, but sometimes just you can have as much fun not playing the objective as doing so. And I like playing my objectives. I like grabbing the dogs. I like grabbing the money, but I can totally get why being a thorn in some other team's side is just so much fun.
Yeah.
And like I say, I didn't see the dynamite after about first minute, so I was doing similar. But is this the one where I took no, the primary was later. I think it was that duck hunt where I nailed you into a corner.
That would have been
But yeah,
Duck, I think.
so yeah, I like the idea, need some more thought, but yeah, we'll get there with this one because it's only had 2 attempts. So
Yeah.
I mean, I'll go with the
charm.
The fun aspect of that. As much as Darren said he was enjoying just being a pain in the arse for the other team, yes, but also sometimes just getting to shoot people is actually playing the objective.
Yeah.
The more people that are distracting the enemy team and stopping them from playing the objective, the less people there are playing the objective, and therefore your team has the advantage. So,
and you got to play with toys,
and you get to play with your toys more.
And I think you've both hit the nail on the head. But Diana in there is just a masterpiece.
We discussed on a previous episode the game where I think myself, Darren, and Ross were all on the same team.
One team, all with Diana's.
And we'd all got Diana's.
And,
we'd all got them on full auto, and it felt dirty. And I actually retired Diana after that. This game, absolutely not, because there were enough Dianas on each team. I think Blue had got his Diana. Darren and Ross had got theirs. I think Fu had got one as well. So there were enough spread around about the arena that it didn't feel like Diana was OP for a change. And that's what I like, because I spent quite a bit of money on my Diana. I want to get to use it. So it's... I thought earlier, and I thought I've been really clever with this, and it's probably not that clever at all, but I thought Diana, Queen of Darts. Queen of Hearts. I'll get me coat.
We're doing silence.
So round after this was 2-mag team deathmatch. So you were only allowed to take 2 mags into the arena. And we'd just done a dart sweep as well, so there was very little ammo on the floor, which meant you had to be careful with shots and try and reload on the fly a lot more. And this was the round where Diana took its front hit and broke. And I've watched the footage back. It is literally 4 frames. You see dart, hit.
Yeah.
And then the front just goes plop, 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 plop.
Yeah, so I replaced the front of my Diana with the battery tray. I used to have a thumb screw in the standard battery tray that matches the purple lower. But I swapped it for the clicky flip open one, because you swap your batteries quite, because Diana's a thirsty bitch, let's be fair. She uses a lot of battery, particularly if you're in hot shot mode. So I had the flip open front sight, took a dart, can't remember who it was that fired it, but
I've got a feeling it was Darren.
I think it might have been Darren. And it just hit smack bang right sort of there where the catch is on the front flap, and flap open, lipo starts slipping out. So I spent most of that game going, so you'll see a lot of footage of me for that if that actually makes the final cut. But and all it did, because of the dart hit perfectly on the catch, it snapped the top of the catch off. So the little sort of slidey button's still there, the spring's still there, but there's nothing attached to it. So I've now got a route around for my original Diana Diana battery cover, which is in a drawer in my bedroom somewhere. But yeah, it did take a hit, so I was sort of out of action for the second half of that game. But still, good game. Still got to
I took out the Firefly, and it was loaded with 350 cal balls per shell, 2 mags of 10 shells. I was loving it, because there's not much spread at, say, 20 feet, but there's just enough that if you're not quite on the angle, you still got a chance of hitting them. So yeah, I loved this game. I've got it down as a red win, 28-37. I don't think those numbers are quite right, but it was still close.
It was definitely 37, because you yelled 37 and I said in a row and no one got it. So yeah. Except Super Collide, but he refused to elaborate. Anyway, someone else who I think was probably pissing Glitterger in this round were the Fib guys, because it was 2 mags. Yes. They had 72 round drums on them.
Yes.
Darren.
I didn't.
That is absolutely abusing the
I
letter of the.
refused that accusation. It was a 34.
Oh, no. Oh, I'm so.
Mate, it makes all the difference.
Yeah. The two mag rule was like, right, okay, so that's going to be one mag in the Diana and the 34 drum in the SBF. Ran the SBF until the drum was empty and then ran the Diana.
And
yeah.
It's not, from my point of view, it's not cheating.
No.
You get a chance to run a drum for fun, and you see Ross with a drum in the Hush too, and you know he's just going to be, like you say, missing glitter because he's having so much fun with it. But yeah, I really enjoyed this one.
Yeah.
It was sneaky, it was fun, it was hurling insults across no man's land at people you could see. It was just perfect.
I think that might have been the game where Darren spotted me from one side of the arena and shot at me, missed, and then proceeded to empty half a mag into an oil drum right where I had been. And I just yelled out, what did that oil drum ever do to you, Darren?
Yes. Is that what it... Right, I think I was
so.
Respawning and I've got that on camera, yeah.
It might not have been this game thinking about it because he wouldn't have probably mag dumped a barrel if he was on. Anyway, yeah. At one point, that happened.
But yeah, I loved that one. Not much else to say, really.
No. Good game. Good dynamics. Good game.
Mm-hmm.
It does kind of make you think about your blaster choice, though, and be a bit more careful with your shots if you are on smaller mags. So
I stayed in semi-auto on that just for that reason, because with Diana particularly, it is so easy to just run out of ammo when you're on a limited amount. I think Diana's something like 8 rounds a second.
Yeah.
So you empty a clip in a mag in like 2 seconds. So
yeah.
Next up, we did 2 rounds of Defuse the Bomb using my bomb prop that I got for District 23. So this, you flip it up, you type in the code, you've got a minute to disarm it. So it was 2 blue wins is what I've got noted. The first one, they were on defense. Red team armed it once, blue disarmed, and got close to arming it a second time, but blue team just basically locked down the upstairs where the bomb was, kept it secure. Then we
despite
flipped to
Josh going flat on his arse.
Yeah, so upstairs, it's a much smaller arena. It is normally it's fine, but this time we hadn't turned the lights on because Frank thought we didn't use upstairs. And I was quite happy to have them turned off because it made it quite intense up there. I got lost a couple of times when I was going up there to put.
Yeah, it wasn't dark.
It wasn't pitch black. Yeah, it was gloomy. But there was as you come up the stairs in the middle of the arena, there's a kind of hall, and most of upstairs is carpeted, and this bit is just a concrete slab. I think
it's lino, actually.
It might be, but because
it was probably
damp,
carpeted, but that piece has come up probably.
Yeah.
But
because it been raining, the roof is a little bit leaky and just general condensation. This patch wasn't wet, just slippy. So Josh goes in front of Hugo. So we've got it on camera, but it's really dark. You can barely see it. And then like 2 minutes later, he comes back upstairs, carefully walks over that bit, and then gets the next bit of the line out and just goes. So,
he fell over twice.
Yeah, no, he didn't fall over the second time.
Slid.
He just slid and screamed.
So Tartan, if you do attend and it's dark and it's been raining, be careful.
Go upstairs.
No.
Yeah, don't go upstairs.
Yeah, no. I managed to make the entirety of Pro 5 without injuring myself. I am not. I mean, I was broken in the middle right now. Yeah, I was absolutely broken going in on night shift. Because I'd done night shift the day before, then turned up to the event and then back on night shift again. And I was broken on the Saturday night and Sunday morning. But I managed to do the entire event without actually injuring myself. I was super, super
Well
pleased with
done.
that.
It is one thing to say for a venue is it's first time we've been when it's actually been raining. It wasn't wet upstairs, but it was damp. And there was one spot in one corner where there is a leak from the roof. But compared to the Foundry, where there were multiple leaks, or Lasermania, where it just always damp, this venue is fairly good. So yeah, Blue win on the first event, on first round from just really successful defense. They then did a attack, primed it, and it detonated. I didn't actually hear it, but I know that they basically defended the detonation. And I'm going to let Darren tell you his story on this bit.
Yeah. So I'm just going to touch on something that Dave Kerr said about attending Pro 5 after doing a night shift. I had done exactly the same with this at this event of Adams. I had been on a 12-hour night shift the night before, literally drove home, put my stuff into Ross's car, got into Ross's car, and we came to the unit.
Wow.
So, if anything, I probably dozed for potentially maybe 45 minutes during, because obviously it wasn't the smoothest of runs across because it wasn't raining. It was monsooning.
Yeah,
it's
the worst I've seen the M62.
Yeah,
and you become very, very aware when you're sat in a passenger seat and you can suddenly feel the car underneath your arse going very light and sliding.
Traction, yeah.
So you need to say you don't sleep very much. So I went to this event pretty much straight from a 12-hour night shift, which was the first night shift. So therefore, I'd been up at 6:30 the previous morning to do the school run. Didn't get back to sleep or go back to bed before going in to do the night shift, and then came straight to Adams. So
you were on over 24 hours on your feet.
Yes. So
I think we worked out at 30 odd, weren't you?
Yeah. 30 something hours when we
Those are
finish your event. Yeah. So needless to say, the bomb game. The first game, as I say, Reds primed it, we disarmed it, and then held it. Excellent. I love that game. It's my game style, my game way of gaming and playing down to a T with my SBF and me Diana. It's just, it ticks every box for me.
Yeah.
So then we won that. We secured that. The gameplay ended. Job done. Excellent. Then it was our turn. So upstairs we went. We located the bomb. Adam had moved it, found it, primed it, was holding it, and then right near the end, Ross managed to either tag me or grenade me. So downstairs I went.
It was a very sneaky. I think he was on the hush and just.
Yes, he was on the hush. He loves that hush.
It's a good blaster.
Downstairs I went as quick as I can, and as I'm making my way back again, so I know I've taken literally 20 seconds to get from up there down to our spawn point, and I'm on my way back. I'm about a third of the way back, and the whistle goes for end of game. What the actual? And yeah, blue team have won it, this, that, and the other. And I think I was quite verbal on the fact of how the have they managed to win that game?
I've got this on camera, Darren, so you know.
We had it. They haven't had enough time to prime it and for the timer to run out. What? No.
I came downstairs and somebody just said, Darren's losing it.
Yeah, and I
won.
So Darren's like, they've not had enough time. How have they done that? And I was like, Darren,
it was like, oh, hang on a minute. They haven't had enough time.
I'm sort of mid-explaining it. And then Darren all of a sudden goes, "Hold on, I'm blue," and touches his buff, and he realizes he's actually on the winning team. It was glorious.
Yes. The penny did drop, but it took a lot longer than it should have done for the penny to drop. To realise that, oh, hang on a minute. No, that's right. That's my team.
I was crying with laughter when it happened. I'm crying with laughter for retelling.
This reminds me of the District 23 video as well, when it's him and Garbutt. You know, and like, have you defused it? No, we're arming it. No.
Yes, I for quite a few seconds, shall we say, longer than it should have taken, I was convinced we had been done a misjustice.
David, roll the clip.
I think
the bomb went off.
Yeah, they haven't had enough time to arm it and count down though.
It was armed about a minute ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, you armed it about a minute ago, so that would have been it going off.
How do I go upstairs?
Oh, I'm blue.
Yeah.
Hang on a minute, they haven't had time to arm it. We were there a second ago, they haven't had time to arm it.
Darren forgot what team he was on and thought he was defending.
So he didn't know he won?
So he didn't realise he'd just won. Because they've not had enough time to arm it, have they? Yes, you armed it.
You got me. I'm like, and obviously the whistle went, you haven't had time to rearm it and get it go off.
Okay, everyone back to the safe room for the next game.
Yeah, it was hilarious. I spent most of that game, the first game I went up trying to defend the bomb, got taken out, because, I don't know if anyone knows, Diana has a little light on the front. That light doesn't go off as long as the battery's plugged in. You're glowing like a bloody Christmas tree. So anyone who's got a clear Diana particularly, you can't hide that light on the front of your Diana. So both me and Blue were using Diana at that stage.
Talking
and we were like,
the green that faces you.
Yeah, but when it's clear, it lights up the entire front of the blaster.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
It's a little LED.
Yeah,
it's literally there, but it lights up the entire front of the blaster.
You can tell where Diana users were upstairs.
You absolutely could. Both me and Blue
It was the only thing you could see.
Yeah, it was the only light up there. Unless you've got a torch, it was the only source of light. So anyone who got a Diana with a clear upper, you were glowing. So that was the thing. But once I'd done that, once I got taken out on defense after we'd armed the first time, I thought, do you know what? I'm not going upstairs because I glow like a Christmas tree. So I stayed down, and that's when
harassed them. Yeah,
that's when I did some horrible things to Hugo on that game. Because that was the game where he was using the Prometheus.
I was about to say this.
I spoiled his fun several times. I'd say I felt bad.
No.
Because he enjoyed it as well, because it was that, I've been tagged. Actually, that was a bloody good shot. I'll take it. Again, possible slight war crimes there, but, the enjoyable kind of war crime.
Yeah, I handed Hugo the Prometheus that was the FoamFest bargain. So £10 battery, £10 of prints. And I handed it to him. He's like, "Oh, this is a bit big." And I think he lasted 5 minutes of it before he was like, "Oh, this is way too heavy." Those 5 minutes, he could, yeah. His smile was out of style. Yeah, it does, but I didn't.
You don't do slings.
No, I don't. Weirdos. But yes, it played very differently to how it played at District 23. District 23, it was very much back and forth, people getting close, people getting tagged out.
Yeah.
This one, Blue Team just locked it down. They had the defense nearly perfect in the first round. I can't remember who armed it, but the fact that they got to it was impressive. And then the second round, they were just straight upstairs, armed it, defended it. And like I say, Ross took Darren out, but I think somebody then took him out, so there was no chance of him disarming it. It was a real pleasure to watch because I didn't play this one. But like I say, very different feel to how it ran at District 23. So I'm now intrigued how it will run at Dishworth. So
I'd be interested to see how that played at Unit 26 with the lights on.
Yes, or just in downstairs or somewhere
downstairs.
else.
Just, I think the darkness made that game more difficult for both sides, but I think the Blues just reacted better to the darkness than we on the red team did, just because I got taken out. I'd not even see. Probably. I didn't even see the person that took me out. They just came around the corner and all of a sudden pop. I was like, oh, okay. Where were they? No idea where they came from. I didn't see them move in, and because I was covering sort of a corner that way, and they shot me from that direction. But they would have had to have passed my line of fire to be able to get to me. So, yeah.
But yeah, I absolutely enjoyed that one. I didn't even get to play. I just watched, and I had so much fun watching. So very happy. And let's see. I jiggled teams around about this time.
I think this is where I swapped to blue, I think.
I'd already moved Hugo to blue, I think, on that point. But next up was Seek and Destroy, which is the game type created for Unit 26. So you take a name of somebody on the other team. That is your only target. So we run it February. Run it in September, but with two names. This time, the tweak was one of the names was replaced with Traitor. And the idea was that the Traitor had to tag every member of its team without being caught. And I purposely jiggled the names around and put it somewhere that I could make sure somebody took it. So I knew who I wanted to be the traitors, and I got I wouldn't mind certain other people, but I was pretty certain I was going to get it to 2 people. So I gave it to Fu, and I gave it to Darren, and it was perfect. I handed them out, and I was watching Darren's face, and you sort of look at it, it's just like, yeah.
He totally wasn't subtle when he giggled like a child.
No, it was not subtle. But it was just perfect. I got Jade, and Jade got me. So this is the second time I've had a target, and both times now I've had a mutual. So it was Mod's first time, Jade this time. And she was lethal. Even once she's away from Ember, Jade is an amazing player. She had me tagged more times than I would really like to admit. And annoyingly, I didn't film this one because there would be quite a lot of me respawning. And I probably gave as good as I got, but I felt outgunned, which I'm a player with 10 years experience, and she's done 2 events. So to say that I felt outgunned by her is just credit to her.
But she was using a semi-auto Nightingale as well, wasn't she?
Yes, and I was using a Spamf. So
so she's got the mechanical advantage, I suppose. But
District 23 video, the first 10 seconds has Jade running full pelt into a
desk,
getting knocked on her backside and going, "I'm fine." Again, I'm running. I was like,
yes.
Okay, that would have taken any one of us out for the match, but she's like, "I'm fine."
So yeah,
they're made of rubber and Teflon at that age, though, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. Teflon and bouncing, rubber balls.
We said it at the first tag talk about Unit 26 where we ran it, that I was concerned it was kind of lightning in a bottle, but it was one time and that was it. The second time was good because you have the 2 names. This time, even though I knew who the traitors were, it was seeing how other people reacted. So I think Darren got Blue Icarian Wings in passing, and Blue's like, "Did Darren just shoot me?" I'm like, "No, it was so-and-so." As I get purposely taking the thing just because I wanted Darren to try and get away with it. I love this game type so much. I'm annoyed I didn't get to...
Clarify for me then, what would have happened? So Darren was a traitor to one of the teams.
Yeah.
And if he was identified as a traitor...
It was, I think I said minus 26 points. it didn't really matter.
No, it was just
this is pure funnies, this game type.
Yeah.
I'm annoyed we didn't run it at District 23 because obviously you've not had a chance to play it yet. Crow's not had a chance. Wolfrana haven't had a chance, so I'm gutted we missed out. But I love this game type. And the best thing was I had to change blasters. I think at one point I started on the Firefly and my extractor core broke. So I went through and was chatting with Frank, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I've started running this with my airsofters," and it's just like, yes,
That's what we want.
the fact that a game type we created for your venue is now being run by you is just it's the pièce de résistance. It was just the perfect. It helped that obviously the arena changes made it so open, so you could get hit really easily. Yeah, I just loved it. Best version of it we've run, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed this game. It was a little bit bittersweet in a sense.
So, did not have. No one had you as a target. No one had Hugo as a target. That was one of the downsides of the traitors.
But
possibly
what it meant
should have been made 2 names.
Possibly, but what it meant was I could run around with impunity shooting Green Hornet because I'd got Green Hornet.
Yes.
And I'd spent most of the day being shot by Green Hornet because he's a sneaky bleep. So as soon as he realised, he was like, "Oh no!" So I spent most of the day just hunting Green Hornet down and shooting him.
Yes,
we didn't find out until afterwards that Green Hornet had got Stuart. So me and Stuart said, "Well, if it had known, we'd have teamed up." I'd have gone round when Green Hornet went to get Stuart. I could just shoot Green Hornet, and a lot of stuff like that was happening in the first game because I'd got Toodles, but Blue had got me. So when I heard Blue and Toodles talking, I'd pop round the corner, shoot Toodles, and then run like hell the opposite way. So there's a lot of potential for this game. It's one of those you can change quite a few of the rules. In various ways, and I don't think there is a bad version of this game. I'll be honest, the 3 we played.
So I've said for February's game, it's going to be 2 names and traitor, and I've said the same because I want to run it in Dishford for my birthday event. I want to see how it runs in that kind of environment. I can't remember whether I've said Big 5 or Big 6, but I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, Darren had traitor. I didn't manage to get everybody on your team, and neither did Fu. But no one figured out it was Fu. I think your team did figure out it was you.
Josh had an idea it was me, but wasn't 100%.
Our team had no idea it was Fu, mainly because he was rubbish at getting the rest of the team. I think he only took 2 of us out. The other thing that didn't help was Super Collide was being absolutely shady as hell. Like I turned around 3 times and Stuart was following me.
Notice he's not here to defend himself.
No, he isn't. But he said the same on the day. He was following me. I turned round and he changed direction and go the opposite direction. I turned back round again and then turned round to him and he was following me again and I was like, that's suspicious. And it turns out no, it's just Super Collide being shady.
Being suspicious,
yeah. Fu hadn't. I think I don't think he'd worked out or had the opportunity to take people out when there was a crossfire and stuff like that. So fair play. It's not a job I would have wanted to do. But he wasn't good, and we had no idea who our traitor was. Whereas the enemy team, the team Darren was on, they'd worked out that it was Darren.
Yeah, Blue was pretty certain, like you say, Josh was. I have no idea who won this, and I really don't care because I just absolutely love this game type. And I
won because I shot Green Hornet several times.
But yeah, at one point I was in the Marshal's tower and Jade was in behind the boxes in the no man's land, and it was just trading shots as she came out of one side of outside, and I couldn't have asked for a better venue layout and a better target this time. Just perfect.
I mean, I personally enjoyed the time before a little bit more, just because I'd got both the modulings. Yes. And it was just hilarious hitting Kaylin and then Will stood next to her, and I'd shoot again, and Caitlin would be like, "You've already got me. You've already got." I was like, "I know," and it was only afterwards that I explained that. But yeah, I think that works better when everyone is hunted, because I did feel a little bit. I felt like I was in God mode, which is not a bad thing, but there was a little bit less peril.
Again, we learn, and next time there'll be 2 names.
And it was still enjoyable as hell, because I got to shoot Green Hornet a lot. So
I don't know what you were using on these ones, you two. Yeah, of course you were.
I think apart from one game and the Orphans round, I was using Diana for the entire day.
Yep.
I did take my Long Fury just in case lipo failure, water, etc. But I didn't use it. I did also receive the purple and green Hush. No, not Hush.
Crush. What,
FIB
straight Talon.
Straight Talon thing. It's absolutely beautiful. If you've not seen a picture of it, I will send one to Tartan so that he can put it on screen now. But it is absolutely beautiful.
Not for this event.
No, not for this event, because it's 200 FPS. It's way too spicy,
beautiful.
but it's just beautiful. And thankfully, Ross, before he put it on sale on the FIB Fridays thing, said to me, "I noticed you haven't expressed an interest. Do you want it?" And I think my response was, "Shut up and take my money." So, meth successfully toddled.
So next game type was Inverse Duck Hunt. So Duck Hunt is one of my regular game types. I have a lot of rubber ducks, way too many rubber ducks. And normally we have bad ducks, which are Trump and Boris. And the idea is you've got to keep them out of your nests. This time it was flipped. So they were the only good ducks. So they were the only ones you wanted in your nests.
Disclaimer, Adam's comments do not reflect
Boris is somewhat irrelevant now, surely.
Yeah, surely you should change the duck around. You know.
You try finding politician ducks.
Is there a Keir Starmer duck anywhere?
No, not yet. There are printable ones, and I do keep looking at Putin one and thinking I should print it. But yeah, so 2 good ducks, everything else was bad ducks. And I have a lot of ducks. And also 2 nests. 1 for each team in No Man's Land, 1 for each team in the Dark Room.
Which is important.
It was horrible. I got some in the nest. I got things out of nests. I moved them.
Quick clarification: there is in fact a Keir Starmer duck.
Oh, marvelous! Send me a link.
Yeah.
But yeah. So well, the other thing is you meant to quack while carrying a duck, because grown men quacking while carrying a duck is hilarious. Because the nests were in no man's land, it was brutal. So brutal. I do not think I have been hit as many times in a game as I got hit that round. I also don't think I've hit as many people as I hit. Yes, get to the fridge.
Diana was in full auto for this game, just saying.
Yeah, don't blame you. I think I ran Hilda Fleur at one point. I know that I ended up on the Prometheus because I ran out of ammo. And I have a great video footage of trying to get Dazzle. He's tucked in behind next to some crates, and he's doing this as I'm peppering around him. And then he tries to make a run for it. I think I caught you. But at the same time, then no, I'm not sure. And then at the same time, Green Hornet comes sliding out in front of me and tags me. So it was so brutal. And I have it written as red win by 24 points. I have no idea if that's real.
Yeah, it's about that, because we absolutely nailed you with bad ducks, because we pretty much the nest in No Man's Land, we pretty much filled it. We pretty much managed to fill it, but unbeknownst to us, in the Dark Room, Super Collide and one other. I can't remember who was in the dark room holding their nest.
Possibly,
who had
or Josh. No, it was. I think I'd moved Josh onto red team by this point.
Yeah,
So it was Super Clyde and Josh in the dark room, just holding a nest with two of them.
and they'd managed to get the two. They managed to get Trump and
Good.
Boris.
Yeah,
and that's what did it for him. Otherwise, we'd absolutely have annihilated you. But unbeknown to us, you got the two good ducks. That's why you got the win.
and I don't think I've seen ducks move around nests as much as in this game.
No.
So the nests were either side of the boxes in no man's land, and people were literally moving around like this. As you get one out, move, get hit, drop it, somebody pick it up, get it. There was so much movement, so many tags, so much quack. It was just, I had a blast.
Also, footage of me playing the objective in this game, just saying.
Really?
Very briefly. Yeah. So
if it gets published.
Our team had found one of the ducks, I think it was Boris, and we brought it back to our spawn point and hidden it behind our spawn timer because Ross being Ross, if he'd have spotted it, he would have grabbed it because he often spends time in the enemy spawn point. And we'd intentionally hidden it so that people couldn't see it. So I made a point. I knew that Stuart and Ethan were in the dark room defending, and they were doing a damn good job of it. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to take the duck and put it in our nest. So I made a push for it, got shot instantly and had to drop the duck, but I was quacking briefly. So that happened, but then someone else got the duck into the dark room, and we only really won because Super Collide and Ethan were absolutely vicious in that dark room.
Demons, yeah.
Yeah.
Next game type was Awfuls Flux. So Awfuls is where you take a NAF blaster, ideally something under 100 FPS, generally with some other problem. But this time mixed it with the flux tiles. So there were 5 flux tiles, one in the dark room, some in the middle. I can't remember where. And I have it down as a red win, 5-0, which is a nice lockdown from our team. But I don't remember them flipping, but I remember having to watch them like a hawk because it was so open. It felt like anyone could get to them really easily. I was running my 6SH, which has been now backwards modded so I can reload. I thought that'd be a really nice mod. It doesn't work very well because you fire and you still got like 8 shots before you then can get to reload it. So nowhere near as good as I thought it would be. But the blaster itself is probably too good for Awfuls. I should have run something else. There's a great footage though. I'm tucked in behind one of the barrels by the door to the dark room. There's Ross in the doorway. There's Super Collide tucked in behind some other barrels. Josh is coming down. I keep peppering him. Hugo's coming down. I keep peppering him. Bonehead's across the side trying to fire at me. It was a lot of really good angles and like we've said, this layout was just perfect for nowhere was safe and you could shoot anywhere from wherever. It was just brilliant. Thank you, Frank.
What it did highlight for me though was how reliant we are on the range of one joule.
Yes.
Versus Awfuls, because for this round I brought in a very small blaster. It looks big, it looks powerful, it's woeful. This thing hits about 60 FPS. It's a flywheeler, Destiny themed because I'm a Destiny 2 fan. I tried to get as many Cade 6 quotes in as I could, but I think I got 2 in and then forgot. So you'll hear me say bless my oh my cotton socks, and I think I mentioned something about not having time to explain. Anyway, I completely forgot, but if the footage for this round is not the exact length of time of Motorhead's The Ace of Spades, I will be disappointed in you, David. But this thing is terrible. It's absolutely
I
abysmal.
will do a cut of it just to Ace of Spades.
But it's abysmal. But there's a moment where I'm sort of firing downrange toward Ross, and Ross knows this is a 6-round cylinder. It's 6 shots and you're done. What he didn't know is in my dump pouch, I'd got a Desperado. So he's like, "That's only 6 shots, isn't it?" I was like, "Yeah, it is. This isn't though." And tagged him. So again, every single shot I'd fired landed 3 feet in front of his feet. There was no chance of any of them hitting him. But when he advanced because he thought I'd run out, that's when I popped the Desperado. I think, to be perfectly honest, that is way too good for Awfuls. It is only stock nerf. It's about 80 FPS, and obviously because it's double action, you've got no
accuracy.
Yeah, you lose your accuracy from squeezing to fire, but it's just too good. You can snap off shots too quickly. You can, it's only a 6-shot revolver, but it's just too easy to snap your shots off. So I think I'll ban that one from Awfuls, as I did with Hammer. But yeah, the Ace, I would take it again. I lament taking it again, but it's not a good blaster. It looks awesome. It's sick. Well,
it's got the potential to be a good blaster, though, but it requires you to do some modding to it.
It runs on 4 AA's, which are there. So
and the weird motors.
It's weighty at the front. You have to essentially double hand it because it's so heavy at the front. The ergo of this grip is terrible. You'd think that little thumb swell there is good to keep it in. No, it's constantly doing that. It's just a bad blaster. It looks awesome, and if you're a Destiny fan, get one because it's great. But it's just, as an actual functional blaster, it's abysmal.
And that's the reason by Hasbro that turns out to be quite naff.
Yeah, and that is exactly the reason why I brought it for this event, because I knew it was going to be terrible. I love it, but it's terrible. So. Awful by every single description.
Darren got to play an Awfuls round again.
What did Darren use?
I have no idea. I don't think I saw him.
I can't remember. It's I think it's an X-Shot version of.
Yes. Micro 2.
Something like that, yeah.
It's not the Micro 2, but it's something like the Micro 2, yes.
Yeah. Which. Yeah, it's like the whole game's designed for. It brings everyone down to the same level,
and people were just laughing.
An absolute barrel of laughs. It really is. That game type it's just a constant giggle. It really is.
That's the thing. Again, even though you're not going to be able to hit anyone, even though your blaster is absolute trash, it's just fun. It's just so much fun going from, blasters you can hit people with range at to, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to hit my own feet with this thing. It's just fun.
The accuracy on, what was it, the uppercut that Al was using during one of them, where he just essentially went, I'm just going to run up to people and hand tag them with it.
He was doing that at Anarchy too, yeah, he was.
Was that Anarchy too? Yeah.
Yes.
Where I swear he got more tags just touching it to people than...
Yeah. And Anarchy 2 was where I banned Hammer because for a single
good.
Shot knock off Thor's hammer, it was just awesome. It was amazing. I was doing some bad things with that hammer. So even though it absolutely fits the Awfuls theme, it's just too good. So I can't use it anymore, which is a shame.
But yeah, I love Awfuls because it is so silly. Last proper game type was a new version of Deathlight. So previous events we've done Meltdown with my nuclear reactor things, and those were where you had to place them, and where you place them scored points. This one, they'd been placed in advance, and the colour determined the points. So you had to activate them. Other team could deactivate them, but had limited lives to do so. It was a 5-minute round rather than a 10-minute round, so you had to be quick. So I think I gave each team 26 lives. We did 2 rounds, obviously. First round, we were on defense. I was on defense. I don't know whether who was on my team at that point. And I don't think they scored well. We kept them at bay. We kept them from going upstairs, and we were deactivating them quite a lot. Second round, we were on attack. Was I on your team, Darren?
I think so. I think you swapped me to Reds by this point.
And we went out fast and hard, and everyone was pulling them over. So the other thing was when you activated a reactor, you had to respawn. So it wasn't like you could do 5 at once. It was 1, then you had to respawn. And our team were just on it. We were pushing, getting them. There were some in the other team's halves we got. There were ones upstairs. I don't think I've ever felt as on the ball as a team as that game, because everyone was just perfect. To the point where it felt like an absolute whitewash. And like we've said before, would rather have the close games. But at the same time, I quite enjoyed absolute whitewashing them because we'd done so well at defending that we obviously knew better than it's kind of similar to the bomb defusal in the team that goes second has the best chance because they know how it's going to play.
And they know where the reactors are as well, more importantly.
But yeah, so I don't think I fired a single shot in this round. It was literally just out, open, respawn, out, open, respawn, out, open, respawn. If I did fire anything, it was literally to stop somebody so I could get forward to open one. But yeah, like I say, it was a little bit of a whitewash on this one for Red Team.
How many reactors did you leave at Unit 26 when we left?
I left, I think 5.
I think we've got a picture of it as well.
We have, and it'll be shown here now. Frank made fun of me because I also left a duck. I suspect that duck was in the ceiling netting. I know I launched one, and I was trying to put them out, and I think that was that one. I suspect more will turn up when he does the rebuild. We're still missing one of the vials of DNA, so yeah. And then final game, so we always do tidy up the final dart sweep, pack our gear away, and then anyone who wants to join in the arena for a quick last man standing, like 3 minutes, gets to do it. I went in with the spam and I got taken out almost immediately. So yeah, that's the way it is.
I generally sit that game out usually because because I'm not a massive fan of the game type, but also because I was broken by that point.
Yep.
I'm not getting any younger. I'd been on my feet all day. I was dead. Funnily enough, different injury. Well, not injury, but different pain this time. Normally, it's lower body. This time, because I'd had Diana most of the day and I'd been like that, this shoulder absolutely killing me for about 3 days. So yeah, that's fun if you constantly, just like that all day. Yeah.
It took me to yesterday to feel better from Pro 5 because I was just absolutely. It's taken longer and longer to recover from events, but I had a blast at Pro 5, and so therefore I will quite happily chew on pain relief for 3 or 4 days afterwards if it means that we get the epic days that we had got, and that was absolutely fantastic.
So talking of broken, I think Hugo got to about Duck Hunt and he was just dead. We were almost carrying him back into the safe zone. There was a point where Darren went and got a monster from the shop, and you could see him take one gulp, and suddenly this energy level he starts bouncing,
like Popeye eating the spinach.
It was hilarious because you could see him dragging. He takes one swig, and he's literally straight up. It was hilarious. But yeah, I had warned Hugo we set quite a fast pace.
Yeah.
But he was broken by the end of it. I also forgot to warn him that you generally don't feel it the same night. It's the day after. It's 2 days after. And I think I spoke to him on, the Tuesday, and he couldn't make it into work because sorry, Hugo.
Yeah.
But yeah, he said he'll come again. Ellie has said they'll come again. Jade will obviously come again because of Ember. So from a new player point of view, it was absolute success. Best layout. Couple of game types didn't work quite the way I wanted, but on the whole, I enjoyed pretty much all of them. Especially towards the back end of the games, like 2 Mag, Diffuse, Seek and Destroy, Duck Hunt, everything worked really nicely. And I had a lot of fun. Gear-wise...
Sorry, go on. I was just going to say, even the games that didn't work out particularly well,
they were still good.
They were still really enjoyable, and I think that's partly the venue and partly just getting to play with our toys.
It was a really good crowd.
Yes, absolutely.
One thing we've touched on it in previous episodes, when you get a group of players who are just chilled out and all enjoying themselves, where there's no kind of personalities, no kind of issues, it runs so much smoothly. And I think this year has really hit home because we've had a lot of really good events where there's not been any kind of major issues. So District 23 was great. Unit 26 is always great. First Anarchy was a lot of fun. Second had a couple of issues, but it has been a really good year for events. And like I said before, Nicole, it's been my best year for events post-pandemic, 10 events. And I think we've got some really nice venues now. There's somewhere we want to try and use them more, like District 23. This we're just perfect. And it helps that Frank enjoys us being there.
Yes.
He gets to sit on his ass because we don't need any help, but he also gets to enjoy it through us. Because he sees us coming in broken from like a couple of really rough games. He gets to hear about our rules, so he then gets to try them on his. So he's run Duck Hunt with his players, he's run Seek and Destroy. So yeah, it has been a really good year for events, and this, for me, it was my last event of the year. So I couldn't make it up to Pro 5, and I'm gutted because it sounded like that was really good.
It was, yeah.
But I felt like I went out on a really good event.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm very happy with it. The things that didn't work, yeah, the first time or second time, we'll get better. New players, great. Gear-wise, I didn't have massive failures. It's kind of been a thing for me this year is I've kind of knuckled down on my gear, and where things have broken, it's generally been minor. So on this one, I'd replaced my mag bumpers from AKBM ones to Mighty Shrub ones, and I hadn't got them fit right, so there were feeding issues. Hilda Flow worked perfectly. Strifex worked perfectly. I didn't get to use the Maxim because Hugo ran it so successfully, and I'm really happy. He also ran my Mark II really successfully, so I'm really happy about that. But yeah, one of the things I've got struggle with is belt rigs. We've discussed this on the Discord a couple of times. Gear-wise, I'm still not there for these kind of venues. But this is why we keep trying and we keep adjusting things, and we will learn from it. I'm interested to see what happens next year. Obviously, the venue's getting a rebuild, so we booked in before that. I'll be booking in after the rebuild, so we get to try that. But I'm interested to see how, like, Hugo will approach it, because I'm sure he'll go and buy some stuff. I'm intrigued.
You're interested to see how much meth Hugo is about to
I'm interested to see how much more money I can force people to spend in this hobby, because let's face it, I've forced you guys to all spend way too much money.
I mean, you're not on your own. MHB All the Darts, having just announced that he's selling the Vespa, has made a significant dent in my bank account.
Everybody's
Everybody's,
account,
yeah.
But that's the other thing. So the Vespa's going to be out next year, and we've seen how successful the Diana is in that venue. Is the Vespa going to be similar? Is it going to be better? Is it going to be worse? I'm intrigued to see that. One of the key or major changes this time was a lot more people using PPs. First time we got the joke in. So
PPs were abound. There were plenty of PPs being gripped firmly.
Gear wise, I would say the main things.
Well done.
Exactly.
I'll blame Adam.
I would say the main gear people ran were Nightingales, Dianas, or PPs. And
because high-end quality, easily accessible first blaster, and absolutely brilliant introduction to the hobby.
We've discussed this last time. The Nightingale is a perfect starter blaster just because you don't have to worry about a rev trigger. It's literally you pull the trigger, you fire a dart. If you've got the full auto version, left hand go burr. Diana's very similar. Even if you've not got it in hot shock mode, there's not a lot of, you've only got one trigger. You've not got a lot of delay between you pulling the trigger and the dart hitting someone. If you put it in hot shock mode, it makes a difference. But it's just an easy to use blaster. And again, the PPs are similar. You short of being, having to cock the blaster when you put a new mag in,
and
and turn off if you need to, deprime, etc. The only thing you really need to worry about in a game with the PP is pull the trigger, you fire a dart. It's very simple. And as an experienced player, I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing having rev triggers. I love my Maxim. I love my Omnia. I love several of my blasters that do need rev triggers on more complicated firing systems. But sometimes just going in and just going pop, 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 it just makes it. And for beginners, Jim Lee said the same. He loved the Nightingale because he could just go in, pull the trigger, fire it out.
I would say I probably got tagged most by a PP in this event.
I think I got hit by it quite a lot.
It was people like Josh. He just seemed to always have a really good angle with it and caught me. I don't remember if Stuart was ever on a different team to me, but if he was, I think he got me. Did Fu have one? Possibly.
Fu has got a PP. I'm not sure he was using it that much this game, but he
like I say, it with that shorter barrel, it's a really good blaster in there. It's still not as good, I don't think, as Diana. But Diana in there is just perfect blaster.
There's two sides of the coin. Yeah, the PP considerably cheaper. 45 quid will get you a PP now.
Yeah.
Now, but the full auto rate of fire is the biggest weakness of the PP, in my opinion. It's just too slow.
But how often do you need full auto?
Yeah, that's true. For an AEB, I think the PP, for the money you get, it's cheap, it's reliable, it hits hard. You can very easily change the FPS. Yeah. And it's, for 45 quid, it's a hell of a lot of blaster.
Yeah.
It's not going to beat Diana, but
no.
As an entry level blaster, the PP is really good for the money.
Yeah.
So great event. Looking forward to the next one. There'll be another one after that once the venue's rebuilt. And then obviously we've got the birthday event next year, which I think I've convinced Hugo to join us for that as well. So he'll be getting high FPS. Like I say, great end of the year for me. Possibly the best venue of the year, which is really difficult to say because District 23 was so good because it involved the things we discussed. The urban, the CQB, the long range. That was a really good venue, but I think this visit was just perfect for me. It ticked all my boxes of I like my CQB, I like my little bit of darkness, I like the mazes. So yeah, I couldn't have asked for a better end of the year. Like I say, great crowd this time. so happy. Gutted that we obviously lost a load of people, but at the same time, small crowd, very intense firefights, swings and roundabouts.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't feel at any point in this recent event. It didn't feel at any point like there were too few players.
No, but
you were constantly getting shot from angles you weren't expecting. So
So one of the things I noticed. So I looked back at my footage from September and from this one. It's very noticeable in how many people are in screen at once. So with 22 players, it feels like there's more people around at any one time. Even though 4 of them might be respawning, but you go from like 3 people in a frame with 15 players to 5 people in a frame, so there's a lot more targets. It is what it is. I'd like to have more players, but yeah. So February's is capped at 20. I think we're at 17 already. So if you want a spot, shout.
I still need to see if Jim Lee's interested.
Yeah,
I can't remember what he said.
I can go beyond 20. Don't worry. Yeah. It's just
you're never going to turn down
No, I'm never going to turn down players because let's face it, I enjoy playing. So, and I want people to come and play because we have so much fun.
It does, yeah. Any closing thoughts there?
I've done mine. I'll hand it over to these guys.
No, I think I've covered everything. So I tend to jump in as is my want. So yeah, all good.
Yep. Never stop before now.
I think we've pretty much covered everything for this particular event. Love the event, as we've all said. Looking forward to the next one in February, and then very, very much looking forward to seeing what changes get brought in after the rebuild, and then also after the new year. It's on our side of things. It's a case of start getting the thinking caps on ready for our event that's coming in April. I
haven't got you guys down for February yet.
Oh, me and Ross will be there without a shadow of a doubt. We don't know about Josh yet with his work.
I think we're definitely going to be over 20 then.
April event for yourself, Daz, will be the level 2 one.
Level 2, yeah. Ours is the level 2 one.
So is that April. With conjunction with Foam on Tour or a second day after?
No, that's in conjunction with them because that particular venue won't let us use their insurance. So we had a quick chat with Games on Tour, Foam on Tour, and they have insurance because obviously they're running a lot of games down south, malls, the caves, and I think they have obviously not using it at the moment because of the time of the year, but they've got an outside airsoft place that they use quite frequently as well. So they have insurance set up. So we are jumping on their insurance for this one. Cool. But the venue was used for Foam Fest, and yes, I'm impressed. It's another very, very good indoor airsoft site. But yeah, this one it's massive. It's a huge inside event. It's got a makeshift plane built in, buses, buildings. Their props are quite frankly ridiculous.
Yeah,
absolutely ridiculous. The props and quite frankly the amount of apparently one of the regulars that goes is an electronics engineer or something and has built pretty much all their props. But yeah, they're very. So we've got an event coming up in April, so get the new year out of the way and then start thinking of bits and pieces.
That's Bolton, far side of Manchester, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not far. To be fair, it's not far. We thought, because when we went for the Foam Fest version of it, the event of it, I think from us, it only took us 50 minutes, something like that, to get there.
It's just off M61, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not a bad place to get to.
So for
one thing I probably will say as closing events is for your birthday event, Adam, just expect to see a Vespers.
Yeah,
I think I will have one. Darren will have one. I think Spectre will have one. There's it's
I
going to be
cannot
Vespers
confirm or
everywhere.
deny.
Vespers with Diana sidearms, I think, is
Yeah.
going to be the flavour of the month.
I think
But to be fair, my whoopsie moment was before MHP's post.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was
Yes.
interested in him. It's just when he popped up and said we've got him, I was like, do you know what? I'll have him. And I don't begrudge people at getting them from other places because you get them from where they're available from. I personally, when MHB was selling him, I thought, do you know what? Local provider is UK based.
Yeah.
He's trying to do a lot for the
I'm
hobby.
still getting the screen and extra mags from him, but M416 Gel Blasters sent me an email saying, "Look at our Black Friday sale." Oh, go on then.
Yeah.
And then whilst I'm perusing, it was like, oh.
See, my Black Friday sale led to purchases of lots of things that I can't use at high powered events. I got Desperado. I got a couple of other Dart Zone long dart things. One of which I still need to send to you,
Spectrum.
Adam.
Yes. Well, there's no rush.
Yeah, the Spectrum has now been short darted and is now pistol form. But yeah, I spent a lot of money on blaster time. I think €80 on 6 blasters. So with delivery, which I can't complain about.
Toddled successfully.
Beth successfully toddled, absolutely. But yeah, Vespa, I've gone with MHB all the darts just because he advertised it. It was available, popped up and said, I'm selling them. And he's not done me wrong so far,
No, indeed he hasn't. No, I've bought a few things. I've pretty much, well, to be fair, yeah, I think I've done every one of his trade pop-ups that he puts up. I think I've got, every time he's put one up, I've gone, oh, God damn you.
Yeah.
I
didn't get a Diana from him because I'd already got one. But I bought a PP from him. I bought several crates of short darts. Every short dart I fired at this event, by the way, was courtesy of all the darts. So yeah, and it's along with UK Nerf War. I'm definitely a proponent of support.
Yeah,
they paid for the respective mortgages.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
The Vespers will be in play at February's event. Like I say, I'm intrigued to see how they work in that environment.
They'll need to be turned vastly down. I think they're capable of. Didn't they say something like 40 FPS up to 180? Something stupid.
So I think 40 FPS is a bit ridiculous. Like, just throw a dart and get further.
I mean, that's HC's.
That'll be
HC's complaint, isn't it? But
that'll be some kind of legal thing. But yes, so we don't know how, but they come with free presets. We'll find out in February when everyone runs them. Other than me, because I'm so far resisting.
I'm doing the same thing. I'm holding off on it. I didn't buy the Gen 1 Diana. Sarah and I got the Gen 2 Dianas, which I'm very happy with. The occasional, and by what I mean is basically every game, no matter what, even with fresh darts, I still need to take out at least one odd dart that's just not fed properly, put it back in. It's just enough for me to go, you know what, let's not sink, say, £500 into buying two Vespas. There is a possibility of an alternative that we're getting our hands on. Just because somebody's passing them on, we might end up picking them up. But like I said, we're not in a position right now to be going and putting out a lot of cash and stuff. And technically, also, we now have to cater for 3 players now, because my brother has really sort of taken a liking to the hobby. I initially thought it was just going to be like he'll drop out after a couple of games, but no,
it doesn't seem to.
No, and I love my brother a bit, right? But we have a rather antagonistic relationship occasionally with each other. And I genuinely felt that actually seeing him at Pro 5 and how much he got involved in it, not just on actually going off and shooting these, but actually trying to involve in the tactics of things. I'm like, no, you've found your wee sort of player niche, of what it is. And I'm like, cool, that's fine. So, I'll probably end up having to buy something for him. He might end up getting a Diana as a surprise birthday present. Possibly, maybe not. Who knows? I don't know. We'll find out. But
Yeah,
the whole idea basically being that when I'm actually now potentially having to go get him another case, to store all the extra gear that he's now getting picked up from occasionally when I'm walking past the shop going, "Ooh, that's going cheap. I'll buy that."
I mean,
yeah. So
we've mentioned the Nightingale as well. AKBM still got the Nightingale 2.0 on sale. That's a
I
really
know,
good starter blaster.
I keep looking at them, but yeah.
I
So
need to get him. He managed to break the front end off his Nightingale, just 3D printed part. So I'm actually going to. You know what? Bonehead, I'll chat to you afterwards about something there. Are we all? Because it's 10 o'clock just now.
Yep.
Darren looks like he's having to run off and go attend to something important and
I think
vaguely
going home.
I'm going to the
supervisory.
car. That's it.
Right,
Darren
okay.
Shifters finishes going home.
Right, okay. Well, in which case, then why don't we take the opportunity just now to say thank you to everybody for joining us for episode 19 there. And we shall see you for episode 20, which was going to be Foams Out
FTT Pro
Thunder's.
5.
Yep, and probably also we'll squeeze a bit into about Pro 4 as well, because they were both very good events for very separate reasons. And I just think it's a great idea to cover both of those there. So I shall say thank you to my guests once again, and we shall catch you for the next episode.
In a tree.
I have the episode's not in a tree. Not very comfortable.
I hate all of these. I
Tree out.
absolutely hate all of them.
Yeah, but you don't though, do you?
No, I really don't. No, I don't.
No.